Well then, you're here. I'm here. We should probably do something. But just keep in mind, no means no. My body, my choice. I took the good old 35mm out for some morning street photography. I want to talk about expectations. I feel like I'm constantly reminding myself that I don't need to get a good photo every time I go out. Sometimes that's easy to keep in mind, and sometimes it's not. But I think what's really important is to just slow down. I tend to race around sometimes, and I find that not only do I miss great photos, but I also just don't enjoy the process as much. So I made it a point this time to slow down and sort of meander through the city. And I reached that meditative feeling I get when I'm shooting landscapes. Relax and let the city happen around you. You're just there to witness and capture it. I think it's very beneficial to just sort of surrender to the environment. Creativity is important, but cramming the puzzle pieces together is always going to be harder than slowly allowing them to fall into place. And it's more satisfying when you do get a great photo. Anyway, let's jump into the video. Don't forget to keep an eye open for the pug hidden somewhere in this video, because if you're the first person to correctly post the timestamp where it's at, I'll offer you a position at Malcolm's Fortune 500 company. Enjoy the video. Alright, labias and gentlemen. So as I sort of alluded to in the intro, this video sort of marks a change in philosophy for me. I find it very necessary for me to sort of switch things up every once in a while to keep things fresh, otherwise I get bored very easily. I think it's just a personality flaw. But I really tried to slow down on this day and just sort of take it all in an attempt to reinvigorate me to street photography again. So one of the things I was doing was just sort of picking out little vignettes in the city with or without people and just see if I could find some sort of composition in the mundane. I decided to include this parking meter in the composition, and I ended up using the frame where he was hidden behind it. For some reason, I thought that looked the best. Sort of layering different elements here of boring objects, trying to make an interesting, boring photo. I really enjoy this building for some reason. It's sort of this industrial but futuristic styling. I set a custom button on the A7 IV to turn off and on silent shutter, and it's extremely useful because it doesn't bring up an on or off prompt like it does on the A7 III. It just switches it on or off, but that also means that I mistakenly leave it on, which is why we have this horrible banding in the artificial light. This one, however, is not banding, it's just the sort of prism effect from this light here above the door. Trying to play with some shadows here. I think that the idea was good, but the execution was just dog shit. I think that the shadow is just too small in the frame, though I do kind of like the shape in the foreground. Playing with this painted mailbox, I saw the opportunity for some colors, and this big old dude with a Broncos shirt came strolling by, and I think it evened it out nicely. Trying to be a creative douche here. I actually do kind of like this one. I like how the crack runs one way and then the shadows run the other. Playing with some more shadows here. I was trying to get somebody maybe holding something like this cup and have the shadows sort of coming out of it, but I just couldn't quite line it up right. So these were just the result of sort of waiting for people to pass by and just capturing what I could. This one may seem boring, but I actually kind of think it's pleasing how clean it is, and I love how the shape of the light is sort of triangular behind him.
You gotta go. I'm just kind of slamming it up. Thank you.
I think the timing on this was good, but unfortunately he was too far away, so I had to crop very heavily. But with the A7 IV's slightly higher megapixel count, it's easier than it was with the A7 III. Thank you for watching. Make sure you click right here to see another time I made an ass out of myself in the streets of Denver. It's getting old. Thanks for watching.